G'day everybody, hope you are well. Interesting times in the markets right now, isn't it? We are definitely seeing a little bit of a stall after, well, what's got to be said is a very bullish run for quite some time. We really have had a pullback into that cradle zone, which we've been really waiting for. You know, the characteristics of this market are very, very strong in my eyes. The very fact that we sold off back into that cradle zone and then quickly rejected with $1,000 or just about $1,000 day the following, or 2 days later, is quite powerful indeed. Now, of course, we look at this weekly time frame here, and I just want to take you through this. For many weeks now, we have been on an upward trajectory. As a matter of fact, since we broke up through this key point that I was talking about, to have the higher low to higher high, well, guess what? We have been very, very hard moving to the upside since that point in time. So it turned out that it was a very, very critical area for the market to move from. Now I want to move to the monthly because I'm going to go into detail here on Bitcoin, and that's what I think is required at this moment in time. Just going to go to log so we can see. Right, so we've had our pullback, we've had our monthly decline. What we've got right now, and this is the thing with moving averages, you know, if people were talking about crosses of moving average, well, we're just crossing up now. Well, guess what? It just crossed down here, so you're getting short here. Now you're just getting out here. Not very good if you're going to trade like that. My point is this may, if we pull back, uncross. So the cross does not mean a goddamn thing. I couldn't give two hoots about what it's doing. What I do like to see, however, and some comparatives to the 2017 run, is really this. We hadn't seen a monthly break to the upside of a monthly candle for a very, very long time. Now, it tends to happen when we've got a bullish market. I mean, even if we look, I mean, we only go back to 2013 here, but if you look over here, this was the only time. So it broke up here, then it sold off. Broke up here, then it sold off, then it kicked off. And this is what a lot of people were trying to call. They were expecting this. And I mean, you guys will know that throughout the entire way through the market, I was saying, look, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again. People have forgotten about that now. They were saying, you know, it's going to go back to 33,000 or 3,200 because they wanted it to do this, because it had done it, well, once or twice before. Okay, it didn't play out that way, and as soon as we started to break the upside of monthly candles, that was when our run began. Now, of course, we have seen basically, hopefully I should say, this little bit here. Okay, the equivalent of this little bit here. Now, we might consolidate for quite a while now. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we have only just started this move. Does it look bullish? Absolutely, it looks bullish. Does the weekly look bullish? Absolutely. The weekly's now in an uptrend. Moving average is fanning beautifully well. What about the daily? How does the daily look? Yep, you bet your bottom dollar, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking very, very bullish indeed. So where does that leave me this week? Where does that leave me in terms of what I'm looking at with Bitcoin? How I'm going to trade it? What plan do I have? And do I still subscribe, do I subscribe to the theory that many others do, that we're going to have a very deep pullback to 6,000? And look, we may have it. Well, let's go through that right now. First of all, 6,000, let's put that in on the chart. We're right about there. Boom. All right. So yes, a pullback to 6,000 would certainly be something that would not be out of the blue for me. It would not be something that would surprise me in the slightest, because we're very overextended on the weekly time frame right here with those moving averages. Now we know though that Bitcoin can stay overextended for quite some time on the weekly time frame, especially when it gets a run on. It does pull back into that cradle zone. That's why the cradle zone is a wonderful thing to trade from. But for now, it's still holding its ground. Let's go to the daily. Do I see any signs of weakness right here? Not yet. No, not yet. What I do see is a pullback, a rejection of that pullback very, very fast to a very strong buyer candle that, you know, a couple of days later. One of the largest ones we've seen in quite some time. Okay. Then what do we have? Well, we keep teetering around 8,000, holding 8,000, just grinding in at 8,000. We're building in and holding 8,000. What I'd love to see is a pullback in a little bit further, or just a nice tight consolidation range. Why? Because that would allow the moving averages on the weekly to catch up, but more importantly, I may actually get a trade up here, which would be super duper. As I move down to the time frames from the daily to the 12, you can actually start to see this consolidation forming here. I'll jump back to the daily. You'll note that yesterday had very, very small volatility. Very little actually went on. Today, even smaller still as it stands right now. From the 12, I shall move lower. From the 12 to the 8. And the 8, once again, there's a consolidation. For me to really be interested in trading Bitcoin on cradle type trades, it needs to break this level. Why? Higher low, then that would signal a higher high. And that's what I'm looking at here as well on the 4 hour. Now let me just jump away from here for a second, jump back to the daily there, jump back to the 2 hour here, and present this to you. There is potential for me to take a long trade. If this resistance gets a third test and it builds into a Bitcoin breakout trading opportunity. Now that's the strategy that I teach, okay? You know what they are if you've done the courses, and if you haven't done the courses, then now's your chance, right? The bottom line is this: if we build up into there, I may consider a trade. There is a little bit of resistance. It's not a perfect exact level. I would need to see a very good setup, and I would minimize my risk, but that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. It's not just on this market either, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look across most of the top 10. That resistance is there, and it might not be that I'll take it on Bitcoin. I might actually find it somewhere else. Again, there's not resistance everywhere, but you can see that consolidation holding its ground. Binance just popped off, waiting for a pullback in here. Look at Tron. Again, it's just starting to tick along. Little bullish candle in the cradle zone right there. I have just noticed that. Would I be happy to trade that? 4 hours convergent, 8 hour. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look too bad. I have to come back to that after I've done this video. And Cardano, again, there's a bit of resistance running through here as well. So we are seeing a consolidation of the market right now. Ethereum with resistance, not the greatest level. We've got Bitcoin also sitting there with a nice looking little level. And I'll throw in one more for the freebies. Ripple or XRP against Bitcoin. If we can come back down to the support level and build into their potential available for shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic day. I hope you are very, very well. And look, share around the love. If you know people that might enjoy this sort of content, just get them to sign up. It's free, as you know. Have a great day. Bye for now.